Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how you will always have to keep that protection on you at all times. Spiritual protection, physical protection, whatever religion you follow, you keep that word on you at all times. I don't care if you're going to sleep. You better have that protection on you, close to the bed, by the bed, on the bed with you, But it's no breaks. It's no days off. It's no slacking. Don't get caught lacking, These demons out here ain't playing fair, and they working full time. Full time. I remember a while ago when I used to have a couple witches that used to be in my space real heavy. And even if I go back to my BM or my last person I was dealing with, I don't really remember too many times where they actually were sleeping. If these demons slept, they slept when I was knocked out cold. And anytime I was in their space for too long, even sleeping beside them, it would irritate my spirit in the spirit world, and I'm not even awake in this physical realm. So when I started to understand those things, because those ones come later in life, usually most of us have to deal with the full-on manipulation, confusion, demonic tactics in this physical realm. But you in for a rude, deep awakening once you are in those difficult positions where you mingling with the opposite sex, or you may have some roommates. I know guys roommate together, girls roommate together, and even still being in the same vicinity, the same household where all the energies pass through living rooms, hallways, kitchens, that still plays a factor on you. You ever realize or pay attention to sometimes how somebody could be upstairs, you downstairs, but you still annoyed by their presence, or their energy is really creepy and unsettling? This is just being in home nighttime thing, having to mingle and keep yourself protected. But then you have when you also have to leave the house. I tell myself every day I wake up, when I get up and I start doing my thing back in this physical realm, I understand that I'm at war, even while I was time traveling, because I don't really like to say sleeping. We time travel, for me, this physical realm feels more asleep than when I'm actually asleep. Just because we spend so much time in the inner space than we do out here. And you'll never be able to do anything out here without it happening in here first. So once you realize that, you are riding with the opposite of the masses, even if you're not following spirituality, and spirituality is just a word that's kind of used to describe your internal space. So when I say spiritual realm, I'm thinking of the opposite of this realm, inside, and then there's a lot of things and shit you can access on the inside too, So the way this is set up out here is set up the same way in here. We just don't use the same terminology for it. That's why you can watch movies and you can still be in a fearful state watching a movie. You can still have a movie make you extremely happy. A movie can make you extremely sad. And you cannot say those are fake emotions. The people who are making the movies understand how energy and motion works. And they know that they can still touch you that same way. The same way we do now, since we have the technology, we can actually do it ourselves without having to worry about big corporate companies, doing everything, and we got to watch and follow their leads. We do to a certain degree, but we getting a little bit more wiggle room, And the protection is going to be huge in today's society, because the protection is usually more of a defense for us. So when I think of protection, I think of skunks, porcupines, just different natural animals that have a really strong defensive system. That's what protection is for us who's moving with the Creator. When we say protection, we're looking at ways to defend ourselves and to make sure that our house is straight, our spiritual house, make sure our friends and family, the people that we care about, is good and they protect it and we are able to defend them. But a lot of people in today's society aren't really concerned with the spiritual protection, the actual being who you are within. So you hear a lot of people congratulating people and patting them on their back for, oh, you went to school, good job, or you got honor roll, hey, good job. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That just means that you're a good listener, you know, when you want to be, because a lot of people go to school and can get good grades if they want it to be good listeners and just follow the instructions. It's very easy, you know. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to be able to follow the structure or the blueprint they have out. Hey, this is Tree. Repeat Tree back to me. Tree. Okay, here's your certificate and your verification because you came and talked to me. So now I'm going to give you a piece of paper, even though you already knew that information already. We already understand how twisted the system is. But everything is so prevalent and is so in your face now. And it's the information, the technology is right here in our face for us to access it. So now it's more so of us being aware of the strangers outside of us, our friends and family that's close to us. Now we're going back through reevaluating, resetting boundaries and barriers and fences and brigades and all these other things up. We've been through a lot of obstacles in our life, and if you really process a lot of your obstacles you went through due to someone else's interfering with your life, your energy, your vibration. When you look at it on a bigger scale, because I always weigh everything out on percentage scale. So even with me making that statement, you could say 20% of your obstacles you went through was dictated based off of you, but then you got a whole 80% that's dictated off of your upbringing, people just being weird and witchy around you and doing sneaky slide things, or just trying to make you insecure to the point to where you're in a lower space and then you're self-sabotaging. We ain't in that space no more. That's dead. That's gone. That's to infinity and beyond. So now we are in a space now to where, you know, we understand Christians is standing solid in their beliefs and it's helping. The Muslims is standing solid in their beliefs and it's helping. The Buddhisms, the Judaisms, whatever isms you want to put on it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of religions because we're people second. You know, we're spiritual beings first. So we have to adapt and blend with our environment, and then our belief systems is what carry us in our walk throughout life. And a lot of us was just believing whatever our parents or whoever was raising us was doing, and they was creating a belief system for us. We took it upon ourselves to not push natural law to the side, the information we was receiving from source, and apply that into real lifetime. You don't have to run around chopping people's heads off. Not everybody, but you will have to chop some heads off. It's just that simple. I'm not a fan of turning the other cheek. Unless you slap somebody and then their head turn and then the other cheek turn. Cool, you know what I mean? But I'm not a fan of bullying, you know, taking advantage of people. Just people who don't have knowledge, or people who are just weaker spiritually, you know, or just weaker physically. I've never been a fan of that. And I knew it was always something different with me and with some of the other beings that I sporadically came across, because there's very few of us that I've came across in real lifetime. Thanks to the digital world, we're able to access each other a lot more. And a lot of people want to say that, oh, we're humans, we're all different. Damn it, we're all the same to a degree too. Look at it on a percentage scale. On a percentage scale, we're all the same to about 70%. 70, that's more than half. That's why we're able to experience the same vibration that someone else has experienced on a whole nother side of the world. But you let these weird people in Western society tell, oh, we're all different, we're all unique. I don't see these trees having a hard time with each other, understanding that they're all similar. that means they all could work together. They all know the powers and abilities that they have. But because we're so intelligent in these vessels, we done went retarded. So now, to avoid being mentally retarded, to avoid all the weird chaos and confusion, you have to keep your armor tight. Meaning that you have to have your talks with yourself, your higher self, with the Creator daily. Muslims, they get down on their knees and they do it multiple times throughout the day, respect. You have other beings that don't follow that religion. You have to make sure you're still having that communication and that talk with Source daily. You have to constantly make sure you're reprocessing each situation and engagement. You have to be aware that when you walk outside of your house, that is going to be some weird stuff happening, that you're going to engage into some weird situations. Understanding these things just make it a lot smoother when you out here battling all these beings and all of these entities while you're out here. For me, I know to stay away from certain locations at certain times. I'm not talking about just late night. It could be daytime. Like for me, example, I don't like going around our campus area. UVA is the university that's where I'm at right now. So they known for their KKK history. Thomas Jefferson, one of the biggest demons that that they still praise to this day. This is quote unquote his old stomping grounds. So for me, when I have to do certain things around the campus area, I'm always very mindful and I'm always extra guarded, because they're only bringing in NPCs and more robots to the university. It's robots from all over the world that's getting embedded into this town right here, just based off of the university. It's not one of those universities where it's like, people are more humble. No, this is Ivy League. This is one of the most uppitiest, whitest universities you can attend. And I mean white by not colorism. I'm just talking white as far as status, because it's a lot of Oreos out here. I run into a lot of brown people that's white on the inside. It's a lot of Oreos out here. It's so many Oreos out here that it kind of makes you second guess, if you should even engage with that person over there, But for me being me, I engage with everybody. I just keep my weapons and I keep my defenses very visible, So it's kind of like old Western movies. People was in salons with their weapons on their hip. Everybody knew, everybody had one. So they knew what the consequences was if things got a little too far and out of hand. It's no different in today's society, except it's just spiritual weapons. You keeping your word with the Source connected. You constantly making sure you tapped in and making sure your health is up to par. You being extra mindful of the foods you putting in your body, even at the times of day that you putting it in your body. Some people get up eating right away, and maybe you one of them beings that need to wait a little while before you eat, so you can actually get your energy and everything flowing and synchronicity. Some people got to get up and start theirs with some fruits or something just to kind of get them rolling. It's all different, but you got to figure out the flow that keeps your energy in a more balanced and peaceful state, because you're gonna have to battle out here. You're not gonna be able to run and duck everybody. You're not going to. The more you run and duck, the more they pile up on you, and then soon they're gonna be like zombies. They just start busting in through your spiritual windows, in your doors. They climbing in from the rooftops. You try and hide in the bathroom, but now it's so many at your bathroom door, you try and figure out how to get out the window. If you'd have just knocked those first couple zombies down, they wouldn't have piled up like this. Fortunately and unfortunately, that's just the society we in now. So if you don't have any warriors around, you better get around some. If you ain't got no spiritual protection, you better get connected with the Source. I don't care how you got to do it. You know what I mean? I'm one of them people that I tap into all religions and cultures, just because I like the information, I like the knowledge. They all come with similar vibrations, but different and unique to their teachings. Even though it's all similar, it's still different to a T. And I'm so out there and willing to try different things. I stepped foot in a Mormon church. You know what I mean? Like, they came by the door, they wanted to talk and build. Some of the guys did. I talked to them, they brought the sisters by. Had a couple sit downs with them, you know, and then I pulled up to their service just to kind of check their vibes, you know what I mean? Very, very peaceful beings. They got their methods and their ways. It's not mine. But, you know, I don't knock it. I love the vibration. Their direction is still aimed at the same space. You know what I mean? So it's always love when it comes to anybody that's riding with the Creator. You know, I don't care what your view is. I know a lot of people like, oh, you need to believe Jesus, believe Jesus. Just stop doing that. Stop doing that. You are making it seem as though anybody who's around another side of the world that don't believe in Jesus is bad people or going somewhere bad. Stop doing that. If that's your belief system, keep it for you. Keep it for you. Don't push that shit on everybody else. Everybody, it's a whole nother culture over there that don't speak your language, that got a different belief system, and you trying to tell them they wrong because they ain't following your language to get to the source when they connected to the source. Stop being retarded. Stop being mentally challenged. Stop being witchy. Stop being demonic. If it's still connecting to the source, that mean they vibing with you. You pushing other people away that probably got more protection than you do, that could protect you better than you could protect yourself, that's probably higher up in the rankings in the spiritual realm, closer to the Creator than you are. But you on a lower vibration on the way there, but trying to force people to take your method. No, they don't have to take your method long as it's the same source. You don't have to get to the sun by one way. You can come from this way, you can come from that way, you come from this way, you come from that way. It's all going to the sun. Now, if you try and twist me up and take me to the moon when I'm trying to go to the sun, now that's where we're going to have a problem at. But the thing is, with a lot of us that's been fighting this battle for so long, like, we used to going against the masses. We used to going against the crowds. We used to going against our families. So now that people want to, quote unquote, seem like they putting us in an isolated space, it don't hold no weight. It don't hold no weight. We got way more substance and value from the source, which is why we've been walking the way we've been walking our entire life. It's just we got wiser. I didn't get new feet when I got older. I got different shoes, but I got the same legs. That's it. We got one coming. It just snuck his way through there, you know what I mean? We just got to be mindful that you have to stay protected. We do got people out here and spiritual warriors out here that's fighting for you. You don't even know that there's people out here fighting for you. But what's going to happen is spiritually, if you keep trying to influence and push people to only take your direction, you're going to fall off the damn track. Because you cannot speak for the other people on the other side of the world that don't speak this language and tell them that they're doing it wrong. Keep yourself armored and defended, and stop trying to influence people into your direction. Just give them the insider information. You know what I mean? Like, it's multiple foods out here. There's multiple ways to feed yourself. Should I say, oh, apples is the only way you can feed yourself? If you ever want to grow strong, apples is the only way. You can only take the apples. Like, that's one of the weirdest places that you have to be mindful of your defenses and protection, because now you got these demonic entities that's connected to religion, and now they're trying to deter you away from the source. You trying to influence me to believe in one man, that girl, whatever it is, when the whole time we're going in the same direction. We going in the same direction. You know, and the ones closest to us is the ones we always got to watch the most. You already understand this. You know, if you don't watch them, then you got to make sure every day you waking up, you cleaning your weapons, you know, you checking your weapons. Your weapons is your defense. Your weapons is your defense. We not out here running around bullying people. We just take care of business when it's in front of us. You know what I mean? We ain't ducking, running, or hiding. That's not what we do. That's why the sun beams as bright as it does. It's no amount of places we would be able to run and duck off and hide from what's actually taking place right now spiritually. You're gonna feel that vibration wherever you at. So that's why it's important for us to make sure we keep ourselves protected at all times when we leave the house, at all times when we're in the house, at all times even when you know you about to sleep/travel. You know what I mean? Keep some stuff beside the bed with you. Keep something on your chest. You know, keep something on the dresser. Say your words that you got to say before you go to bed. You know, try to be mindful of what you're watching before you shut your eyes. You know, just a lot of things you got to take into account in order to keep yourself protected properly. Because all it do is take one cavity to throw your energy off, and now you got demons at you. It only takes one leg injury to throw your balance off, and now you're wobbling all over the place. People can bump you and take advantage of you. You know, you only one slip away from them trying to chop that ladder off while you climbing it. You know, so just be mindful of these things at all times. You know, if you connected to source and the other ones is connected to source, then y'all gotta understand y'all vibing together. Stop doing this thing right here. You know what I mean? If you doing that right there, you gotta already understand the creator ain't looking at you like you riding for him, because that's not how this works. I cannot tell the squirrel he ain't connected to source because he don't speak my language, because he ain't talking about, you know, let's just say Oscar Mayer, because I don't really care for having to use, you know, the name Jesus. Let's just say we substitute Jesus for Oscar Mayer. What I'm gonna tell the squirrel they going to hell? Do all the animals go to hell because they not saying Jesus? I seriously doubt it. So be mindful. Like it'd be so mind blowing. This is how you scare people away with that demonic witchcraft that got implemented into the religious process, you know. And I have to deal with a little bit more of that just because the space I'm in, because everybody want to figure out, oh, what religion you are in, or what source do you follow? Nigga, I follow the creator. That's who I follow. Whatever name you want to put on it, you can put on it. Matter of fact, I put the same name on the creator the squirrels do. I put the same name on it the birds do. Fucking difference do it make? I'm fighting for the birds the same way I'll fight for a human. Same way. You know what I mean? So just be mindful of these things, man. There's so much witchcraft and sorcery out here that people are just so lost. And I know you believe in what you believe in, but you gotta sometimes you gotta take a step back and look at what you're actually saying. Process what you're actually saying. And if it's still a little weird and confusing, redo it again. You know, it ain't no time clock on how many times you get to reprocess and reevaluate a situation that you unaware of, or that you just a part of. So I do everything in my power to make sure I fill myself with much knowledge. I make sure that my experiences, I'm pulling the lessons out of them. You know, I'm making sure I'm having, me and the creator, we're like this. You know what I mean? It is no 1-2 times a day I talk to the source. Me and the source is on the phone for 7-12 hours like I used to be in high school. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man. Tripping, having a good time. You know what I mean? When I get off the phone with the source, that's when I'm looking around. I'm over my shoulder. Even when I'm in the house, I'm just like, damn, what was that noise over there? It ain't nothing over there that should be falling and bombling. What is that noise over there? You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, Lord. Let me get some sage or some cedar. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have fun with it, too. I know we warm, but, you still want to stay light-spirited, too, When your weapons ain't up, you keep your shit light, you know what I mean? But I have been running it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Tap into everything in the description. I do respond way more frequently and faster on my Instagram, my IG. I do get the DMs. I am very responsive over there. What I want to start doing is the ones who do have questions and want to engage. If you DM me on IG, Instagram, I am better with voice messages. And usually if it's like a long engagement or talk, I will want to video chat. I don't know who's a robot or an NPC. It's a lot of, I don't know who's behind the screen. So, if that's something that you interested in, I usually don't put it out there, but a lot of people just kind of been doing it already anyway. So for the ones who haven't, Now you know. You can hit me on Instagram. Everything is in the description. TrakBeatz. Y'all already know what time it is. You know what I mean? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.